the high value woman determines if he is the one. See you in just a minute. Welcome back. Hello, I am Chengi and you, my precious ones, are my world. Welcome to the Black Swan Relationship Academy, right here where we teach you ladies how to present as a high value, high status, high worth woman that high quality men find completely irresistible. If that is you, you are on the right channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. And we're gonna get right into this topic today. How does a high value feminine woman, aka a black swan, know if he is the one? You know, it's very difficult sometimes. I remember when I was in Chengi's Angels or one of my groups, and we were doing a clinic and asking some, the ladies were asking questions, and I got asked a very profound and really important question. And the question was, what is the number one question we need to ask a guy? What would you say, Chengi, is the number one question that must be asked of a man before we even consider anything with him? I thought that was a brilliant, brilliant question. The answer to that question, really, at the time that I gave them, is the truest answer and the answer that I want to share with you on this video. The most important question that you must ask before you even go any further with a guy or date a guy or decide that you want to be serious with him in any way, shape, or form is not the question you ask him. It's the question that you ask yourself. Since meeting this man, am I calmer? Am I more regulated, or am I just as regulated as before I met him? Now, obviously, this term pretty much means, am I as peaceful, if you like, as I was before I met him? Does he maintain and promote my peace? Or does he make me anxious? Have you already started checking your phone and seeing if he sent you a message? Have you already started to, and I'm not talking about those of us with an anxious attachment style, because if we do have an anxious attachment style, we are going to have an elevated desire for constant connection, because it's going to feel unhealthy, it's going to feel overwhelming, it's going to feel almost fever pitch in our spirit, in our emotions when we have an anxious attachment. But I'm talking about somebody who has really done a lot of work on themselves. You've been watching these videos, you've had counseling, some of you have therapists, some of you have personal coaches, some of you have worked with me or with one of my coaches. So you know that you've done some really important work, because we're always working on ourselves. But you've really done a lot of important work around your attachment style. Either you've learned coping mechanisms, or you've actually changed attachment. I used to be very anxiously attached, and then I went all the way to being really, really avoidant. And, I am more a healthy attachment now, but that also depends on what is going on in my life and the last time I was disappointed or whatever. So certain people can come into the life of a person who's well regulated, or who has a healthy attachment style, or who has good healthy relationships around them. If you know that you keep good relationships around you, that your friends, your family, the people you're around are good healthy people, they keep you level, you never feel dysregulated, they don't depress you, they don't kind of get you angry, you're not on this fluctuation emotionally, mentally, then you are generally probably really good at keeping relationships. I have really good relationships around me. I'm very specific about the people I let close to me anyway, so that helps. But I have a way of managing people that I can't be without, in such a way that they don't dysregulate me as much as they probably could if I let them have sort of doorways. So we have the people management situation, and we have the selection situation. But in this instance, we're talking about a man that you're dating. I want you to pay attention to how he makes you feel. So the answer that I gave her was, how does this man make me feel? Does this man dysregulate me or co-regulate with me? What we need to understand is that, yes, we must come into a relationship healing, to be healed. The healing aspect of our lives and our emotions does got to suddenly be in full momentum if we are going to have healthy relationships with people. Understanding always that we're never going to arrive at a place called healed. That we are always in the state of healing from some things, healing in other things, journeying towards areas that need healing. Healing is a perpetual journey and that we will live in until the day that we die. Assuming that you are in that momentum and in that space, and you meet somebody and they're right for you, they can come alongside and aid your healing. They can become an energy that supports your healing. A person, a man that is consistent with his words and his actions, that makes you feel secure, can be the difference between you feeling anxious and you being regulated again, coming into your regulation. What we have to first understand is you first have to be self-regulated. You first have to be at a place of self-regulation before we can start determining whether somebody's dysregulating us or not. What we want to do is achieve a state of self-regulatedness, if you like, and then see how the impact of the people coming our way, whether that is helping and supporting our self-regulation, helping us co-regulate, helping us stay healthy, or are they actually taking us back to our trauma? Are they actually re-traumatizing us? Are they actually bringing up triggers that can only be brought up if the intention and the movement is not right around us? It is the annual Flirt and Date Challenge in the Black Swan Nation. This is a challenge we do every single year and it is incredible. The results, the growth, the relationships, the marriages, oh my goodness. What comes out of the Flirt and Date Challenge every year is incredible because we all throw ourselves into the dating pool and we gather energy from each other and encouragement and fun, and we do it under the watchful gaze of our coaches. I will be in there helping you ladies. The coaches will be in there helping you ladies flirt and date. But this year it is accessible only to the All Access Pass Black Swan Nation members. So if you're not in the All Access Pass Black Swan membership, make sure you follow the link below and I will see you in the Black Swan Nation Flirt and Date Challenge 2022. There's so many men that I have blocked from my phone or removed from my life who genuinely didn't do anything wrong to me, except that their very presence alone triggered certain things in me because of the way they naturally move in the world. This is how they move in the world in general. Clearly works for them, but doesn't work for my mental and emotional stability. I need very much a person who is stable because I am very, my mind is a world in its own, and I am a massive risk taker, and my internal energy is really sometimes everywhere. And so if I meet somebody who's also everywhere, who's also, whilst it sounds like it's everywhere, it's actually normal and makes complete sense to me. But if I meet somebody, a man or a woman who is not very clear about their path, they can easily take me out of my space. And so it's really important for you to understand that, you know, there are some people that kind of bring a bit of fun, they bring out a little bit of that in me, but they ultimately still regulate me. They still leave me feeling like me, feeling healthy and together as I should. And so if you are dating a man, if you are texting a man, if you are in a relationship with a man and him being in your life kicks you out of balance, kicks you out of peace, kicks you out of joy. You're always sullen. You're always not quite yourself, because every week, every day, his aura, his presence has this way of shaking you out of your place of regulation. This is the most important question we need to ask ourselves, and these are the most important notes that we need to make when we're collecting data. I always say to my clients that collecting data is not getting more information about the person in front of you, as much as it is getting as much information about yourself when you're with somebody like the person who is right in front of you. When you are with this person, what do they trigger in you? What do they bring out in you? And is that who you want to be? Because ultimately, the whole journey of life, and I truly believe the meaning of life, is who we ultimately become. Who will you become at the end of the day? Because you will die alone, you were born alone. And do you and will you become the person that you're proud of? Will you say, you know what, I'm proud of the person that I have become? Because ultimately, that is what relationships are here to do. Reflect to us who we are, and what we certainly cannot deal with. It's so important that you ask yourself the question, how do I feel around him? How do I feel? Do I feel like I have to prove myself when I'm around him? Do I feel like I have to be this amazing woman when I'm around him? Do I feel like I have to pull out all the stops and say all the right things? Do I feel like I have to win him? Do I feel like I have to somehow be worthy? How do I feel? Because that feeling is telling me everything that I need to know about this relationship and what this relationship is going to bring out of me, what this relationship is going to feel like, what this relationship is going to produce in me. That feeling is giving me, is the trailer to the movie of this relationship. And maybe I need to go away and work on that feeling. Maybe I need to go away and work on that trauma or that trigger instead of passing on the relationship. But I want to be conscious of what's going on in me. You know, I was talking to a client of mine and she said, you know, Chengi, she met with her ex again for a coffee. She wanted him back. They met for a coffee and she found herself being her old self, proving, talking, trying to come up with conversation. And she was like, I was able to catch myself. I was able to think, okay, what am I feeling? And actually have this conversation and realize that I was back to proving, and I didn't want to be this person in this relationship anymore. I wanted to be a different version of myself, the truer, more authentic version of myself in this relationship. And so he excused himself to go to the bathroom, and when he came out, she was aligned again. She had regulated herself to being aligned. And it just shifted the whole dynamic of the relationship. Because at that point, he was the one who was now trying, working very hard to prove to her, because she had chosen a different, more authentic version of herself to show up to the table. Of course, it didn't therefore work, because that relationship was always based on her trying. That relationship was always based on those things. So no, the coming back together of the ex didn't quite work out for her because of the dynamic that was at play in that particular relationship. And so what we want to do is definitely be having these internal conversations with ourselves when we're on a date, when we're with our mate, when we're with our partner, when we're with our, with our loved ones, to really learn to see how we can practice with our sisters, we can practice with our friends, we can practice our colleagues, just checking in on yourself. This is the most feminine way, and this is the most authentic way, because we now all need to require of ourselves complete and absolute authenticity. I hope that this video was helpful, and I will see you on my next one. In the meantime, do take care of you. Love you lots.